Hi everyone, just putting some finishing touches onto this blackboard. It's just for a local pizza company, as you can probably tell. I forgot to actually do the video for the main part of this, but I thought it might be quite a nice one to just show you some of the shading and the outlining. So enjoy. All of this is done with, obviously the Blackboard paint was used for the background, which is a water-based. It's actually a masonry paint. I just find that works really well, it covers really well, and it's actually pretty hard wearing. Leaves a little bit of a rough surface when you're painting on it. The main lettering and the rest of the board, I've used just a simple green rattle can, which was done lightly just to dust off. I've marked around the edges, masked off, and then obviously just sprayed in just to give it a little bit of an effect. It's quite a nice ghosted effect. Just using a really small brush here for just doing an indication of a shadow. Don't want to overpower the main lettering. Just gives it a nice finished look. The paint I'm using for this is a oil-based eggshell, Dulux, just household eggshell. Nothing special, but I find that the Dulux is really thick. It's really opaque compared to most gloss paints now. Lettering enamels and things like that are not what they used to be, so I'm having to sort of use other paints to try and get things to cover. This has had 2 coats on the white, but I'm actually I'm not going to give it a 3rd for the simple reason I think it looks quite chalky anyway. Gives the desired effect. As I say, the surface is it's still quite rough. Obviously it's there's a lot of standing paint on there. It's dry, like a dry finish, which has its challenges. Sorry for the noisy fan in the background. It's quite warm in here. It's about 30 degrees in the workshop today. Very overcast. It's been absolutely throwing it down with rain. So, trying to get a little bit of air going so paint dries a bit quicker. It's quite a loose style of lettering on this, just something nice and quick and easy easily recognisable for the job this sign's meant to do. It's to go onto an existing airboard street sign, pavement sign as you want to call them. Yeah. I don't know if you can actually see that. That's the paint that I'm using. It's just in a little cup. I've used the a little bit of thinner just to get it workable. having to sort of palette the brush just on the inside of the cup there, because I haven't actually got a palette at the moment. I threw the last one out and it was no good, so I'm just having to make do and mend at the moment. The design on this, it was just literally chalked out, just using the space that I had. I just literally drew it out with a stick of chalk just to see what it would look like. And also you can just wipe that off with a damp cloth when it's dry. There's still a couple of little bits of chalk left, but I'll give that a wipe over before it gets sent down to the customer. I just think this green, well, any colour that you want to add in the background, it's quite easily done, and it just adds a really nice effect to a chalkboard. It doesn't need to be anything overpowering. I've got another one further down here which I'll show you later, which is it's got a little bit of paint splashed on it now, but it'll still get used. It's probably a little bit heavier, the green on that. I tend to do 3 or 4 of these at a time, so I've got spares lying around. It's always handy if you're doing a job like this that's needing things done quite quickly. If you've got the materials, you might as well do 2 or 3 of the same. They'll always come in handy, or if you make a mistake, you've got an instant replacement there, and it's not having to start from scratch again. Still struggling a little bit with my left arm. I broke it in 5 places, and it was it's been sort of out of commission for about 13-14 weeks now. Just managed to get the cast off the other literally last week, and I've been sort of persevering with it. Had the base of 2 fingers in the centre of my hand broken, my scaphoid, and one of the carpal bones in my forearm as well. So it was a pretty heavy clatter. Did it while I was at work. Stupidly just tripped over. So, old age, honestly, it really I should be taking more care, because it's really set me back for a good few weeks. And apologies to any of the customers that are still waiting for some work getting done. Larger jobs and things like that I've had to just put on hold. Not had the ability really, but again, thanks for the understanding from everybody. So it is appreciated, and we will get round to you as soon as possible. I'm just doing this little black shadow on here, so I think it just finishes the whole job off. I think black on pretty much what is dominantly a black board wouldn't work, but it's just nice, subtle. Again, gives it that nice finished look. Not quite like it anyway. Hopefully the customer does. Again, with the shadow, it's just a gesture. Some people will go right up close to the letter, others, like that distance. I'm just the older I'm getting, the lazier I'm getting, and I think this This sort of standoff drop shadow just looks really good. It's quick, and especially for something that really is just going to be standing at the street side. It's not meant to be perfect, it's there to look inviting and a little bit fun. So, I don't know if anybody's just starting out in sign writing or wanting to get involved with it, but it's just quite an enjoyable job. I've done this now since since literally I left school. My dad was a sign writer and he taught me everything I know. He'd been a sign writer from 15 years old when he passed away at 82. He'd done it all of his life, and fantastic artist, and basically I owe my dad everything. Really, he's been my inspiration. But it'd be good to see some of the new guys coming out there and learning the skills. It's something that you never learn this job in total. You can't physically learn the whole thing. Just keep going and learn on the job. Really, everybody makes mistakes. I constantly make mistakes. It's just knowing how to fix them mistakes and make the job look good. Again, I think half the battle is if you enjoy the job and make it sort of a passion. It's half the battle. Right, I'm just doing a little bit of an outline around this pizza. Just a shadow really, just to make it stand out. It looks a little bit bland on the board. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea putting an outline round, but I think it just finishes it off. Like the cheese is actually sliding off the pizza. Very cartoony, but again, does the job. extend the drop shadow on this pizza. I wanted to really sort of stand off the sign, especially on the low side. It's really quite rough, this surface, but it'll be fine. Yeah, as I was saying, for those that are looking to get into sign writing in any way or have an interest in it, chalkboards are a really good way to do that. Local pubs, restaurants, places like that. You just need a little bit of MDF to cut the boards to size, give them a coat of paint, ask what the customer wants, and you can form your own style with them. You know, there's no right or wrong really. I've seen some really bad ones in my time, but again, they still do the job. You know, probably have done some really bad ones in my time as well. So it's you know, as I say, we're always learning. Put an indication of some heat coming off that. Right. Just changing colour. I'm going to put a little bit of a border around this. Into a bright green. What I've done there is it is a bright green, but I've dropped a little bit of white and black in with the colour. As opaque as this paint is, when you thin it down, it does reduce the opacity of it, and it's sometimes wise to drop a little bit of white in, a little bit of black, mixing like a light grey in there. It does tone the colour off a little bit, but it gives you a little bit of a head start on getting the thing to cover in one go. I'm doubtful this will cover in one go, and I've got a little bit of black coming out of the brush. I'm not going to go with a straight line on this. I'm just going to do something that indicates a broken line, just something adds a little bit of style and fun to the whole job. Just on and off with the brush. A few little wiggles and squiggles, which helps. The older I'm getting, my hands are getting very shaky. Old father times coming in, and I do struggle. But adding something like this, it's just quite nice to add a little bit of flair to the job. You can hear all of the pinstripers going, oh, look at the state of that. Don't really profess to be a pinstriper. I don't do symmetry. Hats off to those that do though. It's an art in itself. the brush I'm actually using is it's a David Knatston Roman brush, meant for Roman lettering, but it's seen better days, if I'm honest. It's been used and abused. Sorry David if you're watching, but great brush, and it still has its use. It's just getting a little bit worn out now. Just going to lie that on its side. Some just dots and wiggles on this, just to get a little bit of style, it's less formal, you know. It's an inviting board. It's something to get people in through the door. I think sometimes casual wear is the best. Very casual with this. Again, if you want to practice and do chalkboards, these are perfect, because if you make a mess, just get a few pieces of these, get them cut, get them painted, do them. If you don't like it, you just paint it out. Start again. Quite quick. There we go. Sorry. Well, hope you enjoyed that. See you again soon. Take care.